Okay, let's see what we've got here. So this is just a bit of off-season chaos to have a bit of fun with on a Monday night, and this is going to be a few laps around the nordschleife. We're using sprint settings, no, not sprint settings. We're using feature settings. Sorry, and we're all in the MX5 touring. So everyone's done a real good effort on making the liveries and stuff. So it's in fact, let's have a little run round and have a look at this because uh, everyone really did do a smashing job on the liveries. Anonymous putting a really nice one together for his MX5. Who we got up here? This was I can't remember his name now without the I think that might have been, it's coming back to me. Shook, I think, was in his Chrome Beast. We've got Epsilon just running the standard livery in third place, or third from the back place. This was a reverse grid as well. This was Absolute. Nice one from him. That's mine as well. As you can see, Bluebeard giving you comms as well. We've got Big Popper in the old school Polaroid. Really fancy looking thing. Deck got a bit of a Minolta Toyota theme style going on with his Mazda. This was another standard livery, but I can't remember who it was. And that one will run through the grid one more time quickly at the end. Ronnie Flipping Pickering in whatever he is, fourth place, I think that on is. We've got the X-Men livery. This one just looks absolutely awesome. Great livery from, I think that was Monty. Then we got Felipe going with the hazards on, what does he say on his bonnet? Motorsport can be dangerous. But yeah, Felipe Mazda with the, yeah, I really like that livery on his. And then in pole position, we've got Heatus, Heating and Plumbing. This is the guy to call if you need any kind of work doing with boiler breakdowns, or if you need any plumbing work doing, make sure to give this guy a call. And I can tell you who he is because it is Mr. Inch Timbo in first place. So this was, yeah, reverse grid qualifying. So Mr. Inch is now in pole position. Felipe's in second. Monty's in third. Ronnie Pickering in fourth position. Fifth gets Zeke. Deck somehow managed to sandbag his way up into sixth place. Big Popper's in seventh. Yours truly in eighth position. Absolutes in ninth. Epsilon Delta in 10th place. We've got Shook in 11th. And then Anonymous at the back going to do his best to get to the front. So let's get on with the race because this was great fun. And, well, what happened here? That was jump forward a little bit. So the race is on. We got Felipe looking to make a move. I did do a little bit of a thing. We're going to jump on with Deck to see how this one goes for him because it's all pretty clean for the first few guys. But look at this, absolutely sends it up on the inside, cuts the corner out completely, plows through to the side of Ronnie Pickering. He manages to get through, and I think we're going to have to jump back again because there was a few more things happening here. I think Big Popper gets sent into the shadow realm a little bit here by myself, coming down the inside. Gets through. Epsilon also comes through and shunts into the side of Absolute. Now we've got Absolute in seventh. Epsilon's up into eighth position already from the start of the race, and Deck is into position number 3 by turn number 3. Monty's got a little half-second penalty in front of him as well, just about hanging on to the position, but will Deck get around him by the hairpin? Monty's just about hanging on. I think Deck's going to get this into the corner. Yeah, Deck gets that one done, so Monty's got to try and do his absolute best to keep out of trouble for the rest of the lap. It's a long old way before the penalty line. Felipe's up into third position now on merit. Then we've got Big Popper in fifth position. Epsilon's on a charge. He's up into sixth place, but he's got King of the Ring Absolute behind him. Looks like he's about to make a move as they come on to the Nordschleife itself. And instead, Epsilon manages to get a... Oh, they're not even on... No, it's the wrong bit. It's the Schumacher S's that they're coming up through. Now, so Epsilon finds himself up into fourth position. He's made an absolute charge so far. this race. Deck is into first position, running away with that one as well. It's going to be a 2-horse race really between Deck and Epsilon at this rate. So how we've got behind Absolute, all going into the gravel, gets the side of Monty ahead of him, and now he's left him wide open for Ronnie and Big Popper. 3 wide as they go round onto the Nordschleife proper, and they just about managed to get it, and this time, oh, he's getting the tail end loose as they come round the second corner of the Nordschleife, and now it's a little bit of single file through this section of the lap. Oh, as it looks like further up, Monty and Felipe are trying to go for it. Mr. Inch has managed to get himself up into third position now. Big Popper's closing up really quick on Monty, goes into the back of him almost, but that gives him a little bit of a bump in order to try and get past Felipe as well. Oh, I guess a slap in the side from Monty, and that's going to allow Big Popper through and Absolute. I don't know where I've gone. I've dropped all the way back down into 8th position. We've got Ronnie down in 9th as well now. Anonymous up into 10th position. Shook's in 11th. And Zeke's all the way down here in 12th position. I wonder what happened to him. So as they come on to... Which part of the track are we on to now? Yeah, so this is coming through the Schumacher S's. Zeke's trying to defend from Shook. Look, Shook's got the move done. Actually, no, that is onto the Nordschleife proper, isn't it? So he just finds himself all the way down here, and he's just going to drop off with a bit of pace, I think, unless he manages to go off into the grass. But that was his position. Done for. Oh, and there he goes. We almost missed him. Just gets a bit of a tank slapper coming through, perhaps into the other barrier as well. So Shook's in 11th place. Anonymous trying to do his best to get past Ronnie Pickering as well. I mean, with a name like that, you'd expect him to be driving a Citroen Picasso, wouldn't you? So Monty's all the way back down into 7th position now after the first few corners onto the Nordschleife. We've got Absolute King of the Ring in 6th position. Big Popper on the softs, trying to make a different strategy call than everybody else on the mediums. I think it was him and another driver on the... He gives Absolute a bit of a bump as he tries to get past, gets his elbows out, and we've got... Who's that? Mr. Inch goes wide as well. He still manages to hang on to the inside of it, but Absolute manages to get past as well. So Absolute's up into 5th place now. You've got Bluebeard, yours truly, trying to get past Mr. Inch as well. This is not going to go well. This is a hard bit of track to get by. And I've got Monty right up my chuff as well, trying to get past. Oh, Mr. Inch. Oh, please don't say I tapped him off on that one. So at some point here, we're coming side by side into braking zone. Fortunately not, he just takes himself out, misses his braking point, and collects the barrier through and somehow getting damage on the right rear rather than the front, but never mind. Oh yeah, and that was it. I took a little spin off the track there as well. Not too sure how I managed to do this one. I think I just managed to get a tank slapper coming through, unweight myself, coming off the massive curb there. A little bit of a 360, but gets me back pointed in the right direction. Then we've got Zeke recovering as well in the background in 12th position. We've got Deck at the front trying to hold off Epsilon Delta. So these two guys, the cream of the crop at this track. And look at the gap they've managed to pull already. So we've got Big Popper in 3rd position. He's got one of his previous tier rivals, Felipe, in 4th. We've got Absolute moving his way up the grid in 5th, trying to get past these guys. Then we've got Monty, who's managed to get himself back up into 6th place. That's really good driving from Monty. We've got Anonymous, who's up into 7th position now. This is an excellent drive from him. He started in plumb last He's up into 7th. Still a huge amount of time to go around the rest of the Nords. We've got Shook in 8th position. Then we've got Mr. Inch in 9th. I have somehow managed to recover up into 10th. Zeke is dropped down to 11th. And Ronnie has taken himself all the way back down to last place. As he loses it, coming through one of the corners. I mean, whoever knows all the names of this track is a much better person than I am. So it is a long race, but plenty of opportunity for Ronnie to catch up to the pack as long as other people make mistakes as well. Then we've got Epsilon, who's right over the back of Deck as well. Pretty sure Deck manages to hold him off for quite a while. But we'll jump on with these guys, and they are a country mile ahead of everybody else now. So one of the longish sort of straights in the game. Not straight, obviously, there's loads of corners in it. But managing to maybe work together a little bit to pull ahead of the rest of the pack. But Deck is driving very defensively as they come into the carousel. There you go. I do know one of the names of the track. So both these guys doing a pretty good job now. Epsilon's looking to have a move on the inside outside, going side by side, bit of door banging, and that sends Epsilon off. I'm not too sure whose fault you'd say that was, but Epsilon was trying to make an overtake. Nonetheless, he resets his focus and puts the hammer down one more time. This gives Deck quite a little bit of breathing room between them, but is Epsilon really trying to push it, going off track one more time. And that is not going to help his cause, so giving Deck plenty of breathing room. Now we've missed this guy's out the back here. What happened to these? So Absolute finds himself up in 4th, power sliding around the corner. We've got Anonyma getting a move on Big Popper as well as they come off that sort of straight, and they're coming into the carousel part. I think they're on the carousel part. Well, they might have even gone past that one already. So I just heard a crash. What was that? Oh, that might have been where Epsilon went off. So Anonyma all over the back of Absolute now. Absolute really drifting around the corner zone, and there he goes, he's off the track, and that's going to allow Anonyma through, and Absolute's got to lock in because Big Popper is closing the gap really quick behind. Look at the Polaroid car, absolutely mashed to bits on the sides already. Maybe only half a lap through. Then we got Felipe now in 6th position, hanging on as he power slides through that corner. Shook is up into 7th. Somehow I've managed to recover up into 8th place. We've got Monty has managed to pick himself up another half-second penalty, so he's got a full 1 second penalty to serve as he comes onto the Dottinger. Mr. Inch is closing the gap into 10th place. Zeke is in 11th. We've still got Ronnie Pickering down in 12th place, and Dex is pulling out quite a nice lead now on Epsilon. Epsilon may have cooked his tyres a little bit too much trying to catch up. You can see he's pushing it absolutely to the limit, getting a little bit of dirt as he come onto the Dottinger. Now, will there be enough of a gap between Deck and Epsilon, or is he going to get a bit of slip? Obviously slightly limited on the top speeds. As we got Jeff there at the 195 sign, just having a look as these guys go by. Incident free so far. Anonyma then a comfortable gap over Absolute. What have we got behind him though? Big Popper is closing the gap very close. We've got Felipe. I think there's a little bump train going on between the three of them. Oh, Big Popper almost goes off the circuit with the overspeed. We'll stick on with these guys for the moment. Oh, and Felipe's trying to get down the inside. Big Popper says no. But Shook's going to be there to try and make a move on him as well. He gets the move. Dodgy camera angles, doesn't look like it at the moment. See what happens coming into turn 1 of the GP circuit. So getting around with a 9:38, not a bad time at all, really. All things considered, absolute slightly defending. And where did Felipe go? Let's just jump on with him just for a second and see what happens. Just saw him shooting off in the background. So he comes in. Oh, he just takes avoiding action. He knows he's going to go at the back of him. Oh, but somehow he manages to get on the inside and hangs on to his position against Shook as well. That's really good. Bit of driving from Felipe. Big Popper's still in 5th. We've got Shook still in 7th. Oh, I managed to get myself a half-second penalty. Not too sure how I did that one. But there I am in 8th place. We've got Mr. Inch in 9th place. Monty's had some kind of terrible accident because he's down in 10th now. Zeke coming through, and Ronnie's managed to catch all the way up to the back of Zeke. So that's really good driving from Ronnie in 12th position. Deck then still leading the first lap of the race. Epsilon has closed the gap just a little bit. Anonyma in 3rd place, all on his own. Then we've got Absolute in 4th position. Big Popper on soft tyres, and you can see the difference between them already. They are starting to get a bit cooked. He's only going to last another lap on those before he has to pit. Then we've got Shook in 6th place. He's also on softs. So what's the difference between the two of them? Hardly anything. Maybe Big Popper a little bit better than Shook has done. Felipe has also managed to get himself a half-second penalty as well. So no one really making any overtakes at the moment. Although it looks like Big Popper... Oh no, there is an overtake. Felipe's been overtaken by Shook. Where did that one happen? So where is it? This is the hairpin down the bottom end of the track. What happened here? So Felipe dives to the inside and tries to get a move on and just gets his braking all wrong, goes super wide, and that allows Shook through. So that is where that one happened. However, all that said, I think that might be where he gets his half-second penalty. You can't cut the curbs that much. Yep. So there's a bit of a gap then to Shook ahead of Felipe, and Shook is closing on Big Popper. So let's just stick with these guys, see if he can make any kind of move on his comparable tyre rival. Oh, Absolute looking like he was really pushing it, getting very close to the wall as they came onto the Nords. Oh, as Absolute goes super wide and gets the tank slapper through there, manages to hang on to it. I know he races on pad, and you can catch a lot more on a pad than you can on a wheel. It's almost going to leave him open to Big Popper, but then Big Popper thinks better of it, and that leaves him open to Shook. Now this is a really close battle between these guys. Oh, and Big Popper gets a bit of a tank slapper on as well. The Mazda surprisingly hard to control, to be honest. So Shook gets past him. He's comfortable. What a time to get a phone call. So Shook gets past him. We've got Absolute still in 4th. Anonymous still in 3rd. He's got quite a bit of ground to try and make up to Epsilon and Deck in front of him. Let's have a look at the times. It was nearly a 10-second difference in the last lap, but Anonymous did have to make his way through a bit more traffic at the back, starting at the back of the pack and getting through everyone on that first lap, whereas these guys did start a little bit higher up. So Epsilon closing the gap quite comfortably. No real damage on his car that you can see at the moment, despite having a little off earlier on. So let's have a little look around. So Anonymous still running by himself. We've got Absolute still in 4th place. We've got Shook power sliding through. We've got Big Papa behind him, indicating to go on the outside of him as both Felipe and myself plough into the wall. I was very much trying to follow Felipe through here to gain as much as I could on him. I just imitated his line through to the wall. The pair of us doing the same thing. Oh, as he goes off again, I think this is where I managed to get the move done on him. But it's not for long, because I'm pretty sure Felipe gets that position back pretty soon. Maybe not around here. Oh, there's Mr. Inch. He's doing the same thing that we were as well. It's hard not to expect anyone to make a little mistake going around the Nordschleife for this many corners. There's something like over 200 corners, but being able to do the whole lap with no mistakes, you've got to be next level for that. Then we've got Monty. He's having a little bit of off-track excursion as well in 10th place. Ronnie's managed to get past Zeke. Great recovery for him in 11th. Zeke, I'm not too sure. He was facing the wrong way, was he? It looked like he might have been. Yeah, just manages to unweight on the braking zone. So yeah, puts himself back in the right direction. Oh, Epsilon is all over the back of deck now. This is it for the lead of the race. About halfway through the second lap. And Epsilon it's taken that long for Epsilon to close that gap up again. That just shows the pace of these guys. Deck being the winner of Tier 5 in Aero League Racing last season. And Epsilon, I believe, he was in Tier 3 last season. He won Tier 4 the season before that, but not getting the best results in Tier 3 last time out. I think he won a couple of races, or maybe got qualified in pole. Used the Beetle last time out, and it definitely is good in its place, but wasn't able to make the most of it for the rest of the season. So we'll have to wait and see if he remains in Tier 3. And oh, it looks like he's going to get the move down. He does. He manages to slip it up the inside of Deck. Deck looks like he's going to try and get the move back as well. Through the S's. Excuse me. And Deck is really trying to push the limit of the Mazda and get that position back. This is purely for pride. Getting a little bit of air. Epsilon power sliding around that corner. That's got to allow Deck a little bit of pace to close the gap again, hasn't it? And there he is. He's right up the rear bumper of him, but he can't make a move. Epsilon is just as wide as anything. blocking the path for Deck to get by very nicely indeed. Oh, will that be a penalty for Epsilon? I know there's lots of overrun along this track, but it looks like he manages to get away with it. So as they come round to the last right-hander before getting onto the Dottinger, what can they do? Will Deck, I think he looked like he got that corner a little bit wrong, and the gap is definitely growing, but will that be enough to stay in the slip of Epsilon and close the gap before the start of the next lap? Well, we'll have to wait and see, as Epsilon is... Oh, well, he's not weaving, is he? He's just moving across the track trying to break the toe. As he goes back across again, Anonyma is quite a long way away now. And that camera angle makes it look like Deck is very close. And he kind of is. He has managed to close the gap up, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get the move done by the end of the lap. Oh, there's a bump in bumpers again. Will we see this coming into... Oh, I was going to say turn one, but he won't anymore, because that snap of oversteer has definitely put the pace off of Deck and allowed Epsilon a little bit of breathing room, so Deck has got to go for a really late lunge if he wants to make it into this corner. I don't think we're going to see anything this time around. He's getting a little bit deep, his tyres starting to hurt a little bit. So we'll jump back and see what happens then. So Anonymous still in third. We've got Absolute in fourth. Shooks had to come into the pits because his softs have absolutely had it. So has Big Popper. So Felipe is going to get promoted into fifth position. You've still got yours truly in sixth position, still very closely. Felipe did manage to get back in front of me somewhere along the race. I can't remember which part of the track it was, but he gets ahead. So these two coming in for pits. We've got Monty in ninth place. Will he be able to get the position on Big Popper and Shook? Oh, as he goes off into the dirt. We've got Mr. Inch closing the gap on him as well. And then we've got Ronnie Pickering, Ronnie Pickering just coming off the Dottinger, trying to close these guys down, and Zeke about halfway through the straight at the back. So Epsilon at the front still, comfortably ahead of Deck. So now it's a question. Oh, there we go, look at this. We've got a bit of a move done on Felipe. Let's see how this one happened. So Felipe looks to have got a little bit wide, gets a bump on the curb. Just about hanging on to the outside. We're going well, kind of side by side. Felipe somehow manages to get the speed, but keeps it tight to the left-hand side. That allows me a bit of room to go on the inside, and Felipe just gets his braking a little bit wrong. We'll both get a little bit of a tank slapper on the way out. But that might be the move done for me. But don't hold your breath. I'm pretty sure I make another mistake fairly soon and he gets the position back. Felipe is all over the back of me. Don't let the lower tier fool you. These guys are quick. Had to take a defensive line and keep the brakes as late as possible, pushing the track limits to the limit. And there goes the position, I think. I'm pretty sure Felipe gets it back coming along into the Dodger. Oh, there's a bit of contact. A little bit of argy-bargy, but hey, that's okay with me. Felipe opting to pull out of that one. Good sportsmanship from him. So there's quite a big gap now, a bit of a spread between everybody. We've got Felipe and myself fighting it for that fifth position. Absolute's kind of having a race of his own in fourth. You can see he's a good bit away. We're not even in the background of his shot yet. So he's doing a nice job for that 4th position. Ahead of him, we've got Anonyma with a 9-minute 20. What were these guys running in front of him? A 9-minute 14 for Epsilon and a 9-minute 17 from Deck. So Anonyma not able to close the gap quite so quick on his own. Deck and Epsilon may have worked together a little bit, bumping each other along through the previous lap though, so don't discredit that one. What have we got here? Absolute's got a 9-minute 21. I've managed to get myself a 9-minute 30, which is pretty good for me. I hate this track. Felipe not far behind with a 9.33. We got Shook with a 9.27, but also getting a penalty. Well, I think he pitted that lap as well. So that was actually a really quick lap from Shook. Big Popper with a 9.34, not slow at all. We've got Monty with a 9-minute 40. Mr. Inch has a 9-minute 54, and Ronnie with a 9.43. So clearly catching up to Mr. Inch in front of him, and then Zeke just over the 10-minute mark for both of his laps at the moment. So how is this one going? So Epsilon's now got quite a big gap over Deck. Deck not able to close it too much. Maybe pushing his tyres. They look pretty similar between the two of them. Epsilon only having 39 miles on his Mazda. Deck has 95 miles, so he's definitely put a little bit of practice in. Anonymous got 213 on his, so either he's been using it in other races or he's put plenty of practice in. Absolute with 114. I imagine he's definitely used that car around here before, as it is his favourite track. Yes, what did I use mine for? I think I did about 3 laps practice at this track. Oh, what's happened to Felipe? He's well behind. But I have used this car in another little Cup Series as well. Going the wrong way. We got Felipe's got 94 miles. Shook's only got 55 miles. So these guys just naturally good at this track. Big Popper's on 104. Monty's got 79. Mr. Inch has got 132. Ronnie's on 242. He's up there with me on that one. And Zeke with 84 miles on the clock. So these guys, as he gets super wide, going through there, rubs the barrier all the way around, slingshots his way back onto the track. Finally, for the last time, I'm sure he thinks in his head. Then we've got these guys still at the front of the track. Deck really isn't able to make any kind of moves to close that gap to Epsilon now. So I think this is the comfortable win for Epsilon, unless he makes some kind of mistake and spins around. But I'm pretty sure this is how we finished. So with Deck dropping off the back of Epsilon, is that going to allow Anonyma any kind of time to close up? I think that Deck is pretty safe. Anonyma's a bit too far behind for this one. Absolute is comfortably in 4th place on his own. You're looking at the track map in the bottom right hand corner. There's literally no one around him at all. 3 laps on the Nordschleife, you really are going to find yourself spreading out a little bit. So managing to pull a bit of a gap on Felipe and myself as well, as Felipe's managed to get himself a half-second penalty. No! How far is Shook behind? Shook's not too far behind, but he's got a half-second penalty. So Big Popper still indicating to turn right at some point. Could potentially make a position if he's not too far behind, but looking at the map, I think that might be a tall order. But you never know what happens with these guys if they make a mistake. I don't think I've ever noticed it, that you can hear some music in the background of the track on there. Must be where one of the campsites is on the Nordschleife track. Oh, there's Felipe. Felipe's gone off. What happened to him? Just pushing it a little bit too much. Recovers back to the track, but he's got dirty tyres. And there he goes. He goes off again. And again. And that's going to allow Shook all the way past. Shook gets it. It's an easy overtake, easy position for Shook to get on his fresher softs as well. So the soft strategy working out for the Canadian. So can Felipe make the move back to close the gap to Shook? If he can get close enough, he can get the slip and maybe get the position back onto the Dossinger. Both of them got a penalty, unfortunately, so Felipe won't get any kind of advantage to overtake him, but it does look like he's managed to close the gap a little bit. Oh, as we've managed somehow, look at this. So, goodness me, they're coming across the start finish straight already. Epsilon, absolutely dominant performance. Up into P1 from, I think he was in 10th place that he started. So he gets the win. Deck comes across the line backwards. No, he doesn't. He does a 360 before he gets to the line, but he comes across in second. Still a really good result from Deck. We've got Anonyma who gets the final podium position starting from last place, so that is a phenomenal result for him. Absolute, really close behind still in 4th place. King of the Ring getting the 4th position. Yours truly getting 5th position. I cannot believe I even managed to do that, considering how much I dislike this track. But it wasn't without its mistakes. So come across the line. Then we've got Shook and Felipe. Felipe wasn't able to close the gap down the Dossinger, but he is still super close behind. He gets 7th place, spins across the line. Shook gets 6th. We've got a big popper coming on to the final start finish straight. Comes across to celebrate with his pit crew. Gets the 8th position. Then we've got Monty just coming off the Dossinger as well now. We'll just help these guys close that gap. A couple of yellow flags, but that's only because people have been celebrating across the line. There's actually nothing to worry about. And there we have it. Monty gets 9th place. We've got Mr. Inch recovering all the way to a good position in 10th, getting right up close to the back of Monty. We've got Ronnie in 11th place as he comes across the finish line to bag that position. And then we've got Zeke, who we will also help just to catch up. And then he comes across the line for the final place, getting his personal best, a 9:50. What a way to end the race. Cool. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching that. That was fun. We are going to do another one on Monday next week. How the format is changing is yet to be decided, but we'll almost definitely be going to Laguna Seca. So yeah, it's just a bit of off-season fun, and hope you enjoy that, and maybe I'll do another one.